Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has ruled out a move for free agent Sergio Aguero this summer because of his long association with Manchester City. And Solskjaer has taken a dig at Carlos Tevez for going in the opposite direction. Now, Manchester City have already announced that Sergio Aguero will be leaving them at the end of the season when his contract expires. Now, Aguero is City's record goal scorer. He's got 257 goals. He's been at Manchester City for 10 years. Manchester City paid 35 million for him from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. Sergio Aguero has won 4 Premier League titles at City. He's won 5 League Cups and he's also won the FA Cup. And back in 2012, he scored late on to win City the title. Aguero is the age of 32, so he is aging up. Oh, I'd certainly take him at Manchester United. When Aguero was a lot younger, he played for Independiente. There's been quite a few clubs interested in him. There's a chance he'll stay in England. You know, Chelsea have been interested in him. Few clubs have been interested in him. So anyway, let me delve into some more news on Paul Pogba. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would like Paul Pogba to stay for another season. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer said he wanted Paul Pogba to stay at Manchester United and sign a new contract. We have been in negotiations with Paul Pogba over a new contract. Now, recent narrative said that Paul Pogba still wants to quit Manchester United. Damasio came out recently and said that Paul Pogba's got no intentions of extending his Man United contract and his preferred destination is Juventus. Now, it said we are willing to do a swap deal with Juventus because Juventus won a Paul Pogba swap deal. It recently said they was willing to offer us Paulo Dybala in a swap deal for Pogba. Fabrizio Romano has already mentioned that Juventus are refusing to give up on re-signing Paul Pogba. Reports from the Italian press said earlier on this season that Juventus were willing to offer us 4 players in exchange for Pogba. But Paul Pogba endured 4 very good years with Juventus before he rejoined Manchester United. He hadn't only been linked to a return to Juventus, he's been relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. PSG have also been in for him, so he has had a long-running transfer saga. Now, we've been getting the best out of Paul Pogba in recent months. I think Paul Pogba brings creativity to the team. But disregarding Paul Pogba, we lack creativity and we are far too defensive. So he's an imperative player, and I'd like us to keep him potentially past the summer. Don't forget, he was out with a thigh injury for a while. He was out for the first part of this season with an ankle injury, and he was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury. So he has sustained a few injuries now at Manchester United. Earlier on this season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract on Man United until June 2022. Now, there's a good chance he will leave on a free next year if he stays at the club potentially past the summer. Matthias Pogba, Paul Pogba's brother, he gave us an update on Paul Pogba's future earlier on this season, and he actually advised us to sell Paul Pogba in the summer because he said that there's a good chance he'll leave for free next year and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. Mini Oriola has obviously been desperate to get his client out of the football club. He did say though earlier on this season that he's got no intentions of destabilising his client's season. He made an admission saying that he's working quietly on Paul Pogba's transfer to avoid offence, because Mini Oriola doesn't have a good relationship with Man United and he's being criticised a lot. Mini Oriola was talking recently. He said he doesn't give a fuck if he doesn't take another player to Man United as long as his clients are happy. He also criticised Sir Alex Ferguson for forcing Paul Pogba out of the club when he was younger. And all United fans, I presume, disagreed with him criticising Ferguson. Mini Oriola made the announcement back in December regarding Pogba, saying that his career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. Solskjaer was furious with Mini Oriola's announcement. But as it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him, and this is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. Paul Pogba is in contention to start tonight against Brighton. It'll be his first Premier League start in like 2 months. So there you go. Now obviously, you know the news on Erling Harland. I give you the news on him yesterday. Manchester United have declined to meet Mini Oriola over discussing a deal for Erling Harland. Mini Oriola, Erling Harland's agent, and Erling Harland's father, Alf-Inge Harland, have been to England for talks with several Premier League clubs. Harland and his agent have already held talks with Barcelona and Real Madrid. Now, Harland thinks Barcelona love him. Now, I'd love Manchester United to sign Erling Harland. The reasons is because Haaland's young, he's still got a lot of development in him, and Haaland would assure his goals, and plus he knows Ole Gunnar Solskjaer well. You know, Solskjaer gave Haaland his debut at just the age of 16 at Molde, so it'd be good to see Ole reunite with the player. Back in December 2019, Solskjaer and Woodward went to Norway to meet up with Haaland to negotiate a possible move to Man United. Now, there's narratives coming out the other week saying that Solskjaer kept calling Haaland to persuade him to join Manchester United. He also revealed how impressed he was with Haaland in training when he was at Molde, and he also revealed that he struggled with bad knees at Molde. But earlier on this season, Ollie said he was following Erling Harland's progress and is keeping in touch with him. Said the other week that Dortmund had revealed their asking price for Harland. It's 154 million. Dortmund are going to find it extremely difficult to sell Harland if they are demanding that much. And I think there's a good chance Haaland's going to leave Dortmund, especially if Dortmund fail to qualify for the Champions League. But his father has spoken about his son's career and his prospects, and he's spoken about his son's transfer links to Man United before. He has a £68 million release clause, but doesn't become active until next year. He has been at Dortmund over a year now. You know, Dortmund got him for next to nothing. They only paid like 17 million. He's under contract with them until 2024. Manchester City obviously want him to replace Sergio Aguero. Chelsea have been linked with him. Bayern Munich haven't ruled out a move. There's a catalogue of clubs in for him. Jadon Sancho. He's still on our agenda. We believe we've got a chance of getting him for a cut price fee of around £50 million. Said earlier on this season was preparing to put a £50 million bid in for Jadon Sancho. Fabrizio Romano recently said we've not yet made a decision on Sancho, but apparently Borussia Dortmund still want €120 million. That equates to 108 million in pounds sterling. Sancho has visited our Carrington training ground quite a few times, so that's fueled speculation up. Earlier on this season, it said we actually paused our transfer pursuit for Jadon Sancho due to the progress of Mason Greenwood. But last summer, he was our number one priority target. Borussia Dortmund's valuation was 108 million. We was not willing to meet that. We was only willing to pay so much up front. But he said last summer that the personal terms had been agreed and a contract had been agreed and the agent fees had been agreed. It looked like Sancho was going to be coming last summer, but it didn't happen. You know, Dortmund said to us last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We obviously missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. And Fabrizio Romano, who is a very reliable Italian journalist and close to Man United, he's spoken a lot about the Sancho saga, and Bill's Christian Falk has spoken about it before. Earlier on this season, the player made an admission saying that he has enjoyed a difficult season at Dortmund, but analysing the vast majority of his career at Dortmund, he's been very consistent. You know, this is his fourth season with Dortmund. He's under contract with them until 2023. Dortmund paid just £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017, and we was willing to offer him that number 7 shirt. Now, there's been a lot of narratives coming out regarding Rafael Varane from Real Madrid recently. Spanish newspaper ABC have said that Real Madrid have set an asking price of 51 million for Rafael Varane. I think 51 million's very cheap for a player of his calibre. And the Spanish transfer expert Eduardo Inda has said that Rafael Varane could be on his way to Man United in the summer. Rafael Varane's contract talks with Real Madrid have stalled. Rafael Varane's under contract with Real Madrid until 2022. There was narratives coming out earlier on this season, though, saying that Real Madrid are prepared to sell Rafael Varane on one condition. He must inform Real Madrid on his decision to leave. And back in 2018, we was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. But yeah, he'd certainly go well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line, because he's a world-class centre-half. He's endured, 10 years at Real Madrid. He's made over 300 appearances. He's won 18 major honours, including the World Cup. Real Madrid paid just €10 million for him from Lens, and he is the age of 27. I'm expecting Manchester United to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window. Now, according to recent reports, Man United will spend big in the summer transfer window, but Solskjaer wants to keep transfer dealings quiet. I reckon Solskjaer needs around £200 million if he's to get the players he wants to recommend in. And I've already identified the weaknesses in the squad. I think we need a striker, we need a right winger, we need a defensive midfielder, and we also need a centre-half. Now, Ollie did warn earlier on this season that we may not do business as usual in the summer transfer window due to the COVID pandemic, but he said he's interested in bringing in players that would be a perfect fit for the club. I think Solskjaer should get the backing he deserves in the summer transfer window, because obviously we've got John Murtaugh. He's our director of football, and it was the right decision by the club getting a director of football in, because I did say that's one of the structural changes that we needed, and he knows the club well. And we've got Darren Fletcher. He's our technical director, and he knows the club through thick and thin because he endured 2 decades as a player for Man United. Solskjaer's already discussed our transfer targets with our recruitment team, and he's discussed our transfer plans for the summer in general. Woodward believes that Solskjaer is the right man to lead the club forward. He released a statement earlier on this season saying that the progress by Solskjaer and the players this season is clear, so in that aspect Woodward is backing him. And in general, Woodward's come out several times to show his support for Ollie, even when was enjoying them really bad periods under him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will not be sacked at Manchester United, even if we fail to win the Europa League this season. That's already been confirmed. So I can assure that he will be Man United manager in the summer transfer window, and he'll be Man United manager next season. I said he does deserve another season because in some aspects progress has been made. Solskjaer needs to win a trophy at Manchester United, because he's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017. So if we don't win the Europa League this season, it will be exactly 4 years without a trophy, and that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. I can assure we'll finish in the top 4 this season, but that's not good enough without the Europa League. I think there's a good chance we'll finish second this season. If we can finish second and win the Europa League, I'll turn around and say, yeah, that represents a good season for Man United, and that gives us something to build on going on into next season. A lot of United fans disagree with us giving Solskjaer a new contract, but he is getting a new contract. Solskjaer has agreed to sign the new 3-year contract worth £30 million. Does he deserve a new contract? In some aspects, yeah. In some aspects, no. But sources at Old Trafford did say a few weeks ago now that talks were set to begin any day on the new deal, because Ollie is now into the final year of his current 3-year contract. You can maybe say it is a bit too early to be giving him a new contract. I can assure Solskjaer is not the long-term manager for Manchester United. You know, he's been Manchester United manager over 2 years now, and he's learned quite a few things at Manchester United. He's gained some managerial experience, and he's tried a few different elements. Man United is the third club in his managerial career. I'm surprised he's still here, because we have endured very bad periods under him where you can turn around and say, yeah, he was lucky not to be sacked. But the main explanation he's still Man United manager is because he's a club legend, so I reckon that's what saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he wouldn't have been Manchester United manager now. There's a lot of Man United fans that are Ollie out. Ollie outs were trending on social media not so long ago after the 3-1 defeat to Leicester before the international break. They've obviously got main explanations why they want him out. But there's still some Man United fans that are Ollie in that believe he needs more time. You know, when we are inconsistent, yes, some of the blame stems from him, but not all of the blame stems from him. It's not always just the manager's fault. You know, there's certain players in that have got to take responsibility. Yeah, Ollie's decision-making really concerns me, because in a lot of his games at Man United, he's been tactically naive. But in some games, he showed tactical flexibility, but he doesn't show that persistently. And he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. And I just think that he's in a position that he shouldn't be really in, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But he knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. There is some positives to take from his tenure. You know, it's not all negativity regarding Solskjaer. You know, we are second in the Premier League. At one point he got us top of the Premier League. We've enjoyed good periods under him where we have seen consistency and where he has got the best out of the team in some of them good periods. We've got a very good away record in the Premier League. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. So we are unbeaten in our last 22 Premier League away games. You know, Solskjaer got us to the FA Cup quarter-final, got us to the Europa League quarter-final and the EFL Cup semi-final this season, lost 2-0 to City. You know, he did well last season in his first full season. He guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League and got us a 3rd place finish. Second highest we've finished since Ferguson. He's got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. I like the way he has promoted the youth, because he's given young players their chances and he's brought more young players into the club and he has made some good signings. You know, Solskjaer spent almost £300 million at Man United so far and he's endured 4 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. So they are the positives, and I've got to say Ole is our best manager since Ferguson. He's our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. But in the last 8 years, Manchester United have been playing catch-up. We haven't been the same team since Ferguson retired, and a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go downhill when Ferguson retired, which it has done. No one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. Ferguson endured 27 years at Manchester United, won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. So he brought success to the club, but Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Mistakes have been made in the last 8 years. That's why we haven't been as consistent as we'd like to have been. You know, I definitely think the board's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a while. Main explanations is reflecting now poor our recruitment policy's been. We've overpaid for players. And in general, the managers that we've had since Ferguson retired haven't got the players they wanted to recommend in. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now, and I don't think Ollie's good enough to lead us to a Premier League title. I really don't. We are going to sell quite a few players in the summer transfer window. There's a good chance that Cavani's going to go. As you all know, Footballer Insider have said that Cavani is willing to take a pay cut to join Boca Juniors. He already has a verbal agreement with Boca Juniors. We recently held talks with Cavani over his future at the club and would like him to stay for next season, but looks like we can't convince him to. A lot of United fans are saying that we need to sell Anthony Martial because he's been out of form for the vast majority of this season. Juan Mata, I think we need to get rid of him because he doesn't get in our 11 now and he's had his years at Manchester United. Matic, good chance we'll sell him. Donny van der Beek, I think we're going to offload him. I think we need to offload him because he's not getting enough opportunities at Manchester United. We are actually considering a Donny van der Beek swap deal. Sport recently said that we was willing to offer Donny van der Beek to Juventus in exchange for Rabiot. Paul Pogba, good chance he'll leave in the summer. Eric Bay, could he leave in the summer transfer window like he updated you yesterday? Man United want 17 million to let Eric Bay leave for Inter Milan. Phil Jones, I want him to leave. Axel Tuanzebe, will he leave? Axel Tuanzebe doesn't get in our 11. Alex Telles is a good chance he'll leave because he hasn't been given enough opportunities at Manchester United. De Gea, good chance we'll sell him. Going to give you some more news on De Gea on my next video. Delors, I think we'll be looking to get rid of him permanently. So yeah, we got rid of all them players in the summer transfer window. Will generate a substantial amount and it'd help us with our rebuilding process. There's also a lot of players though that will stay in the summer transfer window, and I think there's a few players that have got long-term futures at Manchester United. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.